live, and it's the 1st of May, and we are so excited because it's hot. Not only that, we are joined by our guest host, Andre Palmer. Welcome to the table.
Thank you, thank you.
So great to have you.
And I'm excited to be on this table
You are
today.
excited because I'm kind of jealous over here.
I'm excited.
Joe,
Two men,
there is enough.
how lucky am I?
Yeah, but there's enough space for everybody.
I think we
We're
have
good.
to make it work. And remember, you can watch us live at onespotmedia.com, hashtag TVJDTL, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at TVJ_Daytime Live. What we have lined up.
Yes, well, before we get going, lots to talk about today, and I'm just excited because, I love to talk, right?
And you love to talk about it.
I love to talk about my daughter and all these wonderful things. But before we get going, we have some guests on the show today. Can we welcome Terry Carell and Yannick to the show? Yes! Hi, ladies! Hi.
Thank you so much. Hey, welcome.
Thank you for joining us. How are you guys doing?
Your hair is beautiful.
Thank
This
you
is the
so
first time I'm
much.
seeing you in person. Your hair is your
So
hair is
my
your
hair-
hair is beautiful as well.
So
What about me?
Your hair is
No, we've gone on through
It's
that.
coming to come. It's coming to come. How are we, ladies? We good?
We're well.
We
God is
good?
good.
Looking stunning.
Thanks.
And I mean, it's by no coincidence that we have two wonderful, successful women joining us because we want to talk about something so serious.
Serious.
Exposing our children, as well as, when is it too early? These are some parenting tips that I think a lot of people will benefit from, and we really want to go there today.
But just hear your take on it, because I believe that you two have very different stands on the matter. So when do you guys think? When is it too early? Is it ever too early to expose your children?
Well, you know
Tell
what?
me.
I don't know what Terry's position is, and I don't claim to be an expert in parenting, right? I think everybody has their own individual style, and for me, I tend to want to expose my children to information
As early as possible.
at an early age.
Right.
Absolutely. And that's critical. And I want to be the first to kind of introduce certain very sensitive topics so that I give them my perspective, right?
But we're on the same
I'm not 100 with that,
Hold on. Okay. Tell me, you say you have the same stance.
Well, it's kind of funny because Yannick started off the same way because as much as some persons might benefit from what we're about to say, it depends on parents, their belief systems, their religion, there are a lot of their backgrounds.
Right.
And of course, it depends on the personality of your child as well.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, man, I think it depends as well because some children, depending on their personalities, it might be better, or you can have that conversation at an earlier time.
But don't you think that regardless of their personality, like you have certain boundaries that you instill, like regardless of who they are? Because some kids may come across as like, I want to perform, but they still don't know
Exactly, if that's what they want to pursue.
you know what I mean? So if you listen to
Guidance.
them, you might push them before.
No, not necessarily the information you tell them, but the how in which you tell them.
how.
Not necessarily the when.
Okay.
So for me, I have the same stance as Yannick, and I'm coming from a place where, for those persons who don't know, I have a 5-year-old daughter. She just turned 5 actually, and a lot of people always see us bonding on social media. Not only that, I speak to a lot of girls Day, women at risk, girls at risk. So when I go into these classes, a lot of the time, conversations that a lot of parents will say, no, that's too early. These children are asking us. And I say, hey, anything you want to ask, I'll be completely honest. So you have 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds sharing with you conversations that they're having with each other, but conversations that they've overheard, and they want you to kind of clarify for them. So because of that, I'm very open with my daughter, even though she's 5.
When you guys are sharing, right? Let's say on Instagram,
Because I won't go to
other
the social
persons.
media.
Let's say you're sharing, because I know you both share your children on Instagram, right?
Well, not necessarily, to a different degree.
So
because,
to a different degree.
kinda-
Is there a time that's too early to say, hey world, this is my child?
Okay, so for me, I am a bit more private, and my children, I don't necessarily post very often.
Why is that? Why are you a little more private?
It's just a personal choice, right?
Okay.
It's just something that I'm more comfortable not necessarily exposing them all the time on social
How
media.
old are they, by the way? Just so we know.
See, I hardly even talk about that.
Does she have children? It's like,
So you know what? People are always surprised to say, Yannick, I didn't know that you have children. People are usually shocked that I have. So I have 2 small boys, and they're under 10.
Okay, great.
Still
right?
kids.
So they are so.
I heard a story, I don't know if it's true, that you would even discipline your child on social media. Like you would say, now listen, I'm having a moment, and I'll tell them not to, whatever it is. Is that accurate?
On social media?
On like Instagram, like a video, like you
people
make a
mix up, come
recording
on.
or something?
No, that has never happened. No, that has never happened.
Okay.
For me,
It's your social media status.
No.
You see?
Some people have never. Well, some people don't know I have a daughter because I didn't even announce my pregnancy.
Right.
And I didn't post her, I think, until maybe she was 2 or 3.
Okay.
No, the reason why, and these things kind of happen, just happenstance. All of my conversations and all the posts that I've made have just been things that, kids say the darndest things sometimes, and
that's true.
You post them because it's a lovely moment. And what I find amazing is that I'll get direct messages from new time moms to be established moms who say, hey, that's really cool, or I never thought about being a full-time mom, but yet still you're kind of showing us that we can still make the time. So a lot of persons are coming to me for that kind of advice because they kind of see me.
So what about
both.
kids?
I don't always share everything, but I share those lovely moments.
I understand. So what about children? Let's say having their own Instagram page, because I know, for example, there are these two, the McClure twins, and I think
I know them. I follow
they're
them.
probably two,
which I do
2 or
upload.
3. How young is it, or how old is it for them to have their own social media presence? Say.
Oh boy.
Yannick?
Let me just say,
Yes,
I
Yannick,
tell
say
you.
it. Say it, Yannick.
First of all, I don't judge anyone who makes that choice for their children.
It's
right?
personal.
But I have chosen to kind of allow my children to decide for themselves whether or not they want to be that much out there. I don't want to put them out there. I don't believe in creating a space for them on social media.
Right.
And the truth is, there's so much on social media that I can't even control.
That's right.
And when I think about what social media has done in terms of their positives, but then there are also negatives, right?
Some serious negatives.
Yes, they are.
For many of us, many of us have become narcissists. We're so full of ourselves,
We are.
and I don't want to get my children into
Yes.
this lifestyle of vanity. I really want to focus them on how do I build character. How do I build values? And it's not necessarily about how I look or what I'm showing. Again, it's a personal choice.
And I want to mention that because I want to come now
and
to
it depends
the family.
as well.
Yeah, it depends. But I want to tie in the family being the primary agent of socialization, because you mentioned,
primary agent of socialization.
Yes, you mentioned the bonding and all of that, and that is important again, because in terms of breakdown and values and all of that, it relates to that.
Yeah.
And we were having a discussion earlier this morning, Andre, all of us were talking about if you don't expose your children to certain things in one-on-one talks, they're going to find it that they're going to get that exposure in a different
Elsewhere.
space.
True. Yeah.
True. Completely. But again, it comes to the role of the parent. So, Yannick is saying she believes, boy, it's not necessarily the role of social media to do all of that. But don't you believe if you, as a parent, you really train your children in the right way, then on social media.
And even if you, and for those parents who might, have Instagram pages for their kids or whatever, it doesn't necessarily also mean that they're in a vanity space. It doesn't mean that these kids are aware that, this is what's going on. I think it depends. I think everything takes balance. I think everything begins at home. I think a lot of the times parenting or parents think because they have teachers and communities and churches, our children are supposed to learn foundation and they're supposed to learn all these principles. And that's really why a lot of children are abused and are used in different ways, because we kind of leave them for other people to take care of.
But I agree with that.
But we need to also think about the issue of security, right?
But I was just about to talk about that, because I have a daughter, and my daughter is 12. She's very
Listen,
she's very beautiful and everything. And my daughter is not allowed certain things on social media.
Like what?
Like, she's not allowed to be on Facebook. She's not allowed to have no Instagram account. She's not allowed to do anything. And even with that, she does have a Gmail account, for example.
Okay.
And she has a Gmail account so that she can email her father and, so they can talk. And
Right.
the Gmail
Main
is nice
channel
for
of
me because
correspondence.
I can see what's happening. And you'd be surprised how many messages has come to my 12-year-old daughter from men saying, hey, you're really pretty. And I mean men
Which
like...
platform is
like
she on?
This is
Gmail,
just
Gmail, but remember,
Gmail has
a messenger,
or
Hangouts,
Hangchat or
Google
whatever.
Plus, like it's accessible.
So
it's still a social media
It's
platform.
not
But Nisha,
safe.
again, they go to school and they're on the playground, and all her friends are on IG. All of them are on Facebook.
Yeah, all of them
Isn't
are not
there
my
a fair?
children.
I know, but isn't there a fair? But isn't there a fair though that you are sheltering your child too much, so she's away from the real world?
Here is the thing, and I'm sorry to be talking,
No,
but here's the
fine.
thing. My daughter and I, we've had many conversations about about certain things. So we've discussed sex, we've discussed certain feelings that she may be having because she's 12. So you know, things are happening.
Puberty's coming.
We've already spoken about the onset of certain changes that we've already spoken. Baby, has anything? Have you had any feelings when you? What about when you see this? How does this make you feel? We've already. You know, mommy, I felt this way. What does that mean? So I have created an avenue for her to come to me with anything, not go to social media to find out or her friends at school.
And this is introducing her to the real world because, you know, it's very, very important to have that done. It's very important to get that information across.
Right,
what are you saying,
and I think,
Sarah?
and just to add what you're saying, I think regardless of whether it's social media, radio, TV, because we're acting like social media is the only form and it really isn't. Right now, from the time you have the web and we have our legacy or traditional media, they're going to be exposed at some point in time. And even conversations that they have with friends who, you know, who started menstruating first and all of a sudden they're having this conversation, they think they know everything.
Talk about that,
I think the very important point you made is what I have with my daughter and even other kids as well. I think it's important as parents to not only have a role of disciplinarian or have a role of don't do this, do that, but to also say, hey, you will not get in trouble if you come to me. If someone says anything, be comfortable. It doesn't matter how you might feel about it. And once you are open to it, you'll find that they're going to come and they're going to say, you know, mommy,
I had
somebody kind of said something today and I don't know if it's true. And it opens you up for dialogue.
I see a little smirk from Yannick.
No, I
but
mean,
this works for me. I don't know.
I'm listening.
Parenting is unique, right?
Listen, as I said before, I really, everybody has their own values, right? And everybody has their own style. And I know what, you know, as Terry knows what works for her, I know what works for me. I think we're talking about several different issues in one, right? And so when you talk about social media and that exposure, there are different choices that we make for our children. And every parent has to be held accountable for that and what that does to them. And for me, my concern as a parent and why I don't put my children that much out there is I'm concerned for their safety and security. I do not want to make choices for them that, you know, maybe
they're not comfortable with.
And I don't want them to get into to feel like they have to perform. I'm not getting them ready for theater. I don't want them to be acting and performing. There's so many people on social media who create this fake life and they believe that if you're not on social media showing all of these things, it's not real, it's not true.
But that's
right? So again, that is why I've made that. But I'm not judging anybody.
Hold on.
Listen,
I know everybody wants to talk, but
no judgment to each their own. Daytime Live will be right back.
Well, you're just getting started. I know, right?